Okay, Math 85, this is section 3.5. It's the last section of chapter 3. So after this, you're done with chapter 3, and then we'll be moving to chapter 4, which you will also be doing a couple sections of chapter 4 this week. And chapter 4 is all about fractions. But right now, we are going to be solving equations with integers. So first I want to talk about what does it mean to be a solution for an equation. And let me do an example. So let's say is x equal 4 a solution So is x equal 4 a solution of 2x minus 5 equals negative 13? So what we want to know is if I plug 4 in here for x, are both sides going to come out equal? Is it going to work out? Okay, so let's try it. So I'm going to take, and remember, when the two are together like this, that means we're going to multiply, right? So I'm going to take 2 times 4. I'm just plugging in. I know x is 4, right? Do blue, sorry. So I'm just plugging in 4 for x. I'm kind of like evaluating and seeing if it works out. Does that equal negative 13? So does 2 times 4 minus 5, does that equal out to negative 13? Well, let's see. If it does, it's a solution. If it does not, it is not a solution. So let's go ahead and see if it works out. So 2 times 4, just following PEMDAS, is 8. Bring down my minus 5. Does that get me to negative 13? Well, what's 8 minus 5? That's 3. And on this side, I have a negative 13. Do those two equal each other? No. So we put an equal with a slash through it, and that means does not equal. So 3 does not equal negative 13, which means no, x equals 4 is not a solution. So a solution makes the equation true. So that's what a solution is. This was not true. So x equals 4 is not a solution. Let's do another one and see what happens. But just remember, when you plug it in and it comes out true, then that's the true solution. It does work. So I'm going to use my same equation here, And I'm going to say, is x equal -4 a solution? Then I'm going to use the same equation. So let's try this again. Is x equal to -4 a solution of 2x minus 5 equals -13? So we want to know, does x equal 4? If we plug that in there for x, are both sides going to come out to be -13? If it does, then it is a solution, because the solution makes the equation true. So again, let's plug in -4 for x. Okay, so 2, and remember there's a times there. We don't see him, but he's there. Does that give us, or does that equal out to -13? Okay, so we're going to do 2 times -4. And remember, a positive times a negative, we learned that in this chapter, is a -8. Does -5 minus 8 or -5 plus a -8, remember when they're both negative like that, we add them together. Does that come out to be -13? So I'm going to put the plus in here if you need it. If you don't, that's fine. So I'm going to add together what's 8 negatives and 5 negatives. Well, that is 13 negatives. So -13 does equal -13. It comes out equal on both sides, so we can say yes, x equals -4 is a solution, because it made my equation true. -13 does equal -13. So, I'm sorry, I hope that makes sense, because there's, I think, a few homework problems on that. And if that still doesn't make sense, let me know, and I'll do some more for you. Okay, so now let's start solving. Okay. So let me get some problems here. And if you have the book, I'm on page 260. Okay. And this is the first edition book, which that was the only one that was available on Amazon, and that's what I have. So if you have the second edition, it might be a different page, but they're really similar books. Okay, so we're going to start solving, and like I said, I'm on page 260. Okay, so let's start with, and we're just going to solve. And I know we've done something similar. I don't think we've done with integers, though. So this is going to be solving using integers. So some number n plus 12 equals 5. So I want to find out what n is equal to make this equation true. So I'm looking for the solution. We just learned that. So I want to know what n equals. So I need to get n by itself because I want to find out what n does equal. So remember when we were solving before, we did the opposite. What is the opposite of adding 12? Minus 12. So I'm going to minus 12 from both sides. And 12 minus 12, this drops out. Now let's look at what's going on over here. I have a 5 minus 12. So I have a positive number and a negative number. And remember, when I have that going on, I need to subtract. And the sign of the answer goes with whoever has more. So what's 5 minus 12? Well, what's 12 minus 5? Is 7, and there's more negatives in front of the 12 than we have in front of the positive 5. So my answer is negative 7. So you need to make sure you know your adding and subtracting positives and negatives before you do this section. So n is negative 7. And if you want to check that, you can take this negative 7 and plug it in for n and see if you get 5, if we want to check and see if that's a solution. So negative 7 plus 12, we just subtract, and we know we have more positives. So this is 5, and this is 5, so we know we're right. So my final answer is n equals negative 7. And make sure you put the letter, because sometimes some students forget to put the letter and what it equals to, so I know that you know. Okay, that's part A. I'm going to come back and do some more solving.